I was ready to take this thing back and throw it at the salesman. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Mountain Beaches. I'm Norm, and thanks for joining us today. I got to tell you, we've had that excavator for the past week, and I just returned it this morning, and I'm already in withdrawals. That thing was awesome and so much fun to operate. Now it's time to move on to other things, and today we're getting back to the shed build. Maybe it doesn't look like it with what I'm wearing, but I wanted to start off today's video talking to you a little bit about my new Stihl MS250. I bought this thing 2 days ago because I needed it. My other chainsaw broke and I needed a chainsaw. So I went into town and I got this Stihl MS250. They took it in the back, they started it up, or tried to. Then the salesman came back and said, we weren't able to get that one started, let me grab a different one. A little while later he came back and said, okay, we got this one running just fine, we always test them. I thought, hey, that is great. And then he started telling me the sequence that I should consider to use for starting this, and putting it in the full choke and pulling it X times, and then moving it on to the start mode and then to the run mode, and try 5 pulls on each one. If that doesn't work, repeat that. And I'm counting up the number of pulls that he's suggesting we need to do to start this thing, and it's getting into the double digits, high double, 20 pulls or more. And I'm thinking, that doesn't sound right, because with my Husqvarna, it didn't matter. 3 pulls and it was running. I got this thing home, went to use it on Monday, and it took me a while to get it started. And I figured, well, it's a new saw. I need to break it in. And I used it just for a few minutes, cut a tree down. Then I was back onto the excavator, moving stuff. Later in the day, I wanted to use it again, and I could not for the life of me get it started. I was so frustrated. I was ready to take this thing back and throw it at the salesman and say, you take it, you give me my money back, because this thing is junk. Well, I didn't have time to do that day because it was my last day yesterday, my last day with the excavator. So I got online, got on YouTube, and I watched a ton of videos and people talking about these are hard to start and very easy to flood. And then I started learning more and more about the specific sequence. I followed that this morning, that sequence, and within about 6 pulls, it was running. So I learned a lot about it, and then I've been using it for the past couple hours this morning, finishing up some downing of some trees and cutting up some logs that I needed to do before we move on to the shed. And I could not be happier. And I've started it, turned it off and started it multiple times this morning, and it is running like a champ now that I know the secret. In a future video, once I'm a little more confident and comfortable in knowing that really does work every single time, I'll share that secret with you so that you can know if you have one of these saws. Once you get them running, it's a great saw. I love it. And I'm glad I figured it out and didn't storm back to the store and throw this at the salesman. Now we're onto the shed. Kim's in the trailer working on a few things, and then she's going to join me. We're going to finish putting up the paneling, and then it's on to the roofing. So we're pretty excited. Let's get going on that. Measure twice, cut once, they say. Well, I'm going to measure twice and cut twice, evidently, because I did this one wrong.
Does it feel good to be back at it?
It does, but my skills are a little rusty. I'm having trouble with my cuts.
Oh dear. Well, you'll get unrusted.
I hope.
Do I need to apply a little lubrication?
I could use Glenn.
That is not what I asked.
Not sure what you asked me.
Well, all right. Do you have a tricky piece?
What's that?
Do you have a tricky piece?
Well, an angled one. So
Maybe.
sometimes these are tricky.
Well, let's see how it goes.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Okay, so this one's gonna be a little bit tricky.
Oh, a tricky one.
So this side is where I put my mark. This side is 31 inches.
Okay.
This side is 36 and a half.
Yeah.
But that is at 23 and a half width, not all the way to the end. So
Right.
does that make sense?
Makes sense. You gonna remember all those numbers, or should we?
31, 36 and a half, 23 and a half. I wrote them down right here.
I know. You're gonna be working over there, though.
Well, that is going to do it for us for tonight. We got close to finishing the siding. We ran out of materials. We need to go and buy another sheet or two. Then we'll be good for that. So I'm going to do that tonight. And I'm also going to buy the OSB for the roof so we can get started on that, because tomorrow's Wednesday, going to be a nice day tomorrow, but it's supposed to rain and rain hard on Thursday. So we either need to get the roof on by tomorrow, which is going to be a stretch, or we got to throw a tarp over this whole thing because I don't want to get ruined. So we have a tarp, we're ready for that, but we'll see how far we get. And off to Home Depot I go. Kim's in making us some dinner.
It's a bit of a mess at my workstation, but hey, this is real life. So tonight we're having boneless pork loin. Well, it looks yummy.
Looks very yummy.
We'll see how it tastes. Alrighty, what do you think?
Well, let's see here. Not bad.
Not bad?
Winded.
A little bit of a dilemma.
We are ready to start doing the roofing. We've got the OSB. It is 5:45 right now, and we are
Tired.
We're tired. We're trying to figure out, do we have enough time to put the OSB up and then put the felt on? Because it's supposed to rain tomorrow. But every day we look at the forecast, it started out like a 80% chance, then down to 60, and now we're down to like a 33% chance of rain.
I know,
So-
but if we don't put the OSB on, then we have this great big tarp that we have bought to put up there, and that in and of itself is going to be a challenge.
Yeah, big, huge tarp. So,
do we put the extra effort into putting a tarp on, or do we just...
all right,
Let's
put
do-
in the comments below. Let us know. Tarp or OSB and felt, which is the better option? Neither is a easy option.
No.
If we do the OSB, then it's done. If we do the tarp, then we just have to undo the tarp. But I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess by the time you're watching this, you'll see what we figured out. But go ahead and stop the video right here and put in the comments what you think we should do.
All right.
All right, here's the decision. We put one piece of OSB up there just to see how it would go and get an estimate on how long that's going to take us. And we are both too tired. It took us a big effort just to do that one. So we're getting the tarp out. We got it laid out here, and we're going to start opening it up and get it spread over. It's 26 by 40. We got to try and get this thing all the way up and over this shed. Wish us luck. I told Kim if we put the tarp up, we're only going to get a sprinkle of rain. If we don't, it's going to downpour. So either way, doesn't matter.
You may wonder what in the world we're doing, but it was most important to get the tarp up. We still have a little time, so we're going to put the remaining OSB underneath the tarp now, a little bit ass backwards or back asswards, whatever, but we're doing it.
All right, now we got to figure out how to secure it. We bought some rope. See about wrapping it around, tying it off. I don't know if this is going to work.
We'll make it work.
We'll see. Wish us luck. All right, that's going to do it for us tonight. I think it's protected, which means we're not going to have any rain.
I'm going to put this in the truck and
cover up the rest of our tools and call it a night.
Let's have some dinner.
We'll join back with you tomorrow and we'll see what tomorrow brings, I guess. All right.
Oh my God.
So what do you do when it's raining out and you can't work on the shed?
You come to the Pack River store and have a yummy lunch.
Perfect. Food just arrived, and let me show you. This is the reason we love the Pack River store. Look at this burger. Amazing.
I got a spinach salad with chicken. It just looks delicious.
Done. The rain may be gone, but man, it is chilly today. I don't think we're going to even reach 60 degrees today. Fall is here for sure. It's an absolutely spectacular day here on the homestead, and we're getting back to work. Yesterday we got the tarp off the shed, but we really didn't do anything else. We had some other chores we needed to take care of in town and some other things we had to get done. So we did that yesterday because it was cold and wet. But today the sun is out, the temperatures have gone back up, and so now it's time to get working back on this shed and make some progress today and tomorrow. We have, today's project is, let me show you. I don't even know what it's called, but here on the outer edge of this joist, I need to put some bracing in there, maybe 3 or 4 short pieces on each side, and then continue putting up the OSB up on the roof. So hopefully I can get both of those done today, and then we can start working on the metal. That's the plan. We just got back from church and stopped at Home Depot on the way home and picked up the fascia board that we need. We're going to get that stained, so we'll be ready to put that up first thing tomorrow. I'm going to try applying with just a rag. We'll see how that goes. I also have a brush if need be, but I don't know. Rags always work good for me for staining. The color we chose for the stain is a cedar, So we'll see how that looks. If you have a chance, it's always easier to put the stain on before you put the board up. You don't have to worry about drips or spills, or you can get it all done pretty easily this way. Works out really nice. This is going to require most likely 2 coats at least, so it goes on pretty fast. I'm liking it. It's a little bit orange look right now, but I think a second coat is going to darken it up. All right, that's a first coat on one side. We still got to get the other side though.
Hello.
What you got going?
Well, I am hammering in nails that are sticking out and puttying holes that are too deep and pulling off all of those little plastic things.
Awesome.
So,
making sure it's going to be nice and watertight.
Yep, I've already caulked all up there.
Yeah.
And just working my way around. I took over your roller. In case you didn't notice.
I did.
Down here. How do you like these awesome painting clothes I have? I think it's so that the bears can see me really well. But actually, I got I got this at the secondhand store. I am the messiest painter in the world.
She is.
And so, yeah, the $5 leggings and an old tank top, and I am ready to go. So.
We buy 2 gallons of paint because one goes on Kim and one goes on the wall.
Yep, that's about it.
I'm up here on the roof, and man, it is a beautiful view from up here. I need to take off the drip edges that I had installed. They were the wrong thing, and it's a learning process. We are novices at this, and you guys probably know better than us, but we picked the wrong drip edge. It probably would have worked if our metal was wider and had a little bit of overhang to it. It would have worked perfect then, but that's not the case. So we're taking off that drip edge, and we've ordered the trim pieces. But let me show you the view from up here on the shed. Let me give you a 360 shot. Our property line is right about the tree line here and goes this way. Just spectacular. A little bit of haze, I think that's moisture in the air. And our property goes way off into this tree line. 10 acres here in northern Idaho. Just spectacular. All sorts of varieties of trees. This big one over here, that's called a larch. And it's one of the few deciduous pine trees. And it'll actually lose its needles here pretty soon. And it'll look like it's dead, but it's actually just dormant all winter. We have several of those. Here's another fairly large one over here, and some more over in here. We have a lot of those. It's a beautiful hardwood and really burns magnificently. So that'll make some great firewood. But a lot of pine in here, different varieties, and we just couldn't be happier. So here's the drip edge trim. I've already got some of it removed. I need to take this piece off. I need to take that piece on the other side off. And I need to take this piece off of the top and then start installing the roof material, and we'll be good. This is our neighbor's property over here. They own 50 acres. And we actually just met them a couple of days ago. They came wandering on over and said hi, and we sat down and visited with them. They invited us over to their place. We might go over there this weekend. So yeah, they've got a beautiful property as well. 50 acres. Yeah. These actually come off pretty easily. I took a few off yesterday. Just lift them up a little bit and get a claw hammer underneath there, and then those nails will just lift off just like that, and it'll come off very easy. And we'll save this drip edge. I'll use it somewhere else down the road, maybe when I build a woodshed, or who knows what. All right, I've had the camera off for a while I spend a lot of time aligning this first sheet. I want to make sure this one is perfect, because the rest of them are going to be based off of this first one. So if this first one is out of alignment, it's just going to cascade and get worse as we go along. So I've got the first one, I think, exactly where I want. I've got 1/8 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch of overhang beyond the drip edge. I'm not sure I really need that or not. I mean, the drip edge takes care of it, but a little bit of an overhang. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 of the screws and tack it in up at the top so it doesn't move. And maybe one at the bottom so it doesn't want to move sideways, but I think maybe just 2 at the top. And then I'm going to start laying them across and just tacking them in, because I want to make sure I'm have the correct width and come all the way across so that the trim piece will cover. So that's my next step, and so far so good. Okay, that should hold it. And now let's get the rest of the panels up here. I'm going to tack each one as I go. All right, I got the second piece up here, and evidently the first piece is not totally square because I'm growing the amount of overhang ever so slightly. The first piece was 3/8. This one is 1/4. So, you know, we only have 4 pieces. That's not a whole lot, but I want to do better than that. I want to try and get this perfect, and so I'm going to adjust that first sheet just a little bit and get it a little bit more square, and then pick up from there. All right, that took a couple of tries and resets, but I think I got it. It looks perfect now with the 3/8 inch overhang. That's 2 down, 2 to go. Just realized I dropped my tape measure down below when I was pushing the metal up onto the roof, so now I got to go back down the ladder and get that so I can measure my 3/8 inch overhang. All right, let's see how we did. Oh, right now I'm looking at that and I can already see we're way beyond 3/8. We are almost 3/4. Wow, what happened? Maybe it's not lined up at the top. Let me go check that and adjust that. Okay, first chalk string is there. I think what I'm going to do is just leave the chalk string there and put the screws in, and then I'll move the chalk string onto the next spot. Well, that's it. The roof is done. It's up. It's all screwed in, at least for this week. We still have to wait till next week to get the trim pieces, and then we'll get those installed. But other than that, it's done, and it's looking really good. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. And as usual, it was a lot more work than I thought, but I think it turned out pretty nice. So that's going to do it for today. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'd really appreciate it. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you see so much more of what we're doing. Thanks again. We'll see you next week.